Welcome to our maths class. Thank you for joining us. Let us go straight to our lesson. I don't want us to waste any time. However, yesterday I gave a homework and Jaden, I'm not sure if he's attending today. Jaden did contact me via email to ask how it will be conducted. So I have explained to him that it will be the same as the grid that we did yesterday, where we had 6 multiplied by 4 equals 24, and then we added 2. So yes, we added 220 on our example. It was 220, 200, and 2000. All right, but then on the homework that I gave, it was 660, 600. And 6,000 on the left, and on top, on the first row, it was 440, 400, and 4,000. All right, I do hope that everyone did the homework. I will not be able to see it as of now, but I do hope that from the work that I gave you yesterday, you were able to complete it. Your homework was the one which says 8 multiplied by 3 equals 24. And also you had another number at the bottom. I think it was 3 multiplied by 6 at the bottom. So you had to complete that homework. I hope everyone did that. All right. So today we are continuing with our multiplication. But today what we are going to learn about is how to solve word problems. And also you will know the different ways of recording multiplication, which is the detailed recording and the column recording. All right. All right, word problems. Let's start with the word problems. To understand word problems, you must always note what you are given first, and then what you must find. Okay, what is important with word problems is that you read to understand, read what you are given. Okay, understand, okay, that this is what I'm given and this is what they are looking for, right? So it is always important to write down what you know, right? It is important to write down what you know when it comes to word problems. For example, here I have an example where it says Thandi has 5 bags of sweets and each bag has 12 sweets. What is the total number of her sweets? That's the statement and the question that we have. Statement says Thandi has 5 bags of sweets and each bag has 12 sweets. Now that is what we know. What we know is that there's 5 bags and these 5 bags have got 12 sweets. Right? And then what are they looking for? How many sweets are all together? All right? Or rather, what is the total number of his sweets? Note that we are told the number of bags and sweets. This basically means that we will multiply the number of bags by the number of sweets to get the total. Okay. Here is an example from the information that we're given. All right, with word sums, you first write 5 bags. Okay, I have 5 bags in each, 12 sweets in each bag. All right, now you write the question. What is the total number of sweets? Right? Firstly, write out a number sentence. Now, what is a number sentence? A number sentence would be 5 multiplied by 12 is equal to, and then you make a little box that is your number sentence. Okay? It gives you the factors that you are to multiply, and then an empty space in the place of a product that we are looking for. All right, and then you continue with your multiplication to get the product, or rather the answer of what you are looking for, which is the total number of sweets. All right, you then again write 5 multiplied by 12 equals 2. Then you break it down. 5, first group it. Remember, we did associative property of multiplication. You first group it, 5 multiplied by 12, okay, which will be the easiest way for me to multiply. Okay, we use the associative property of multiplication, where we'll say 5 multiplied by, you open your brackets, 10 plus 2. So we know 10 plus 2 equals to 12, but we are just breaking it down. All right, and then you close your brackets, and then you say it is equal to, you continue on your right hand side because that's what we're looking for. You're looking for an answer. All right, and then you say 5 multiplied by 10, that's 50. And you also say 5 multiplied by 2, that's 10. Okay, I have 50 plus 10. The total then says 60. All right, now we know we have 60 sweets. Okay, or you write at the bottom 5 multiplied by 12, which is one of the mental calculations that we spoke of yesterday. If you are able to mentally calculate 5 multiplied by 12 and equals to 60, that's great. You can do that way as well. But with word problems, it is important that we write out these steps. It is important that we write down what we have and what we know and what we're looking for. And we also write the number sentence, which is 5 multiplied by 12, and that little box with an M, the box with no answer. You leave it open, and then at the bottom, you continue calculating. All right, you must always have your closing sentence. The closing sentence here would be, there are 60 sweets in total. All right, remember we said we have 5 bags of sweets. Each bag has 12 sweets, right? So now the question says, what is the total number of sweets? Okay, what is the total number of sweets? That's the information that we have. We have noted down everything that we know, and then we continue on our first step of our multiplication. We write our number sentence, which is 5 multiplied by 12, and we leave the answer open, but we write that box. It is very important. It shows that this is a number sentence. You do your calculations, you get your total, and then your closing sentence must be, there are 60 sweets in total. Right? Now we move on. Today we do have a question and answer that is available. So if you would like to answer the following questions, please write on the question and answer box. We do have it on the site, so please use it. Now here is your turn. I'd like you to work with me. We have only 3 word problems that we are going to be looking at. The first one says, a chef prepared 7 platters of prawn. There were 78 prawn on each platter. How many prawn did the chef prepare? If I can get the answer of that, remember to follow this step, you first write down what you have, what you are given, and what the question is. That's important to write down. And then you write your number sentence. You don't have to write out number sentence. I'm just giving you the steps here. What you do after you have written your question, you go straight to the number that you will be multiplying, or rather the facts that you'll be using to multiply and get the product. You do the breakdown of your steps, 5 into 10 plus 2 here in this example, and then further down, get your answer, and then you don't have to write a closing sentence. What you do is just go straight to your closing sentence, which is, there are such and such in this, answering your question. Here the case is, there are 60 sweets in total. So I would like, while I'm still explaining, I'd like us to work on these word problems. I'm going to repeat it whilst you are writing down on your question and answer box. A chef prepared 7 platters of prawn. There were 78 prawn on each platter. How many prawns did the chef prepare? How many prawns did the chef prepare. So I'm going to quickly try and find the question and answer so that I can be able to view the answers that you're giving. Are we getting any answers? I'm unable to see on my side. Are we getting any answers? Okay, I don't see anything. Okay, it's still loading. All right, I don't see anyone writing down the answer. Okay. Let me quickly check. One moment for me, because it seems that there are people writing there. One moment. Okay, Tiari, can you please assist me?
Hi, Tabitha. Just check the Q&A at the published side. I've published everything. It's there.
Okay, one moment for me. I just want to quickly check it here. Where do I get the published side?
It's the photo I sent you.
Yes, I said, but I don't see where exactly do I go on here on my screen.
Is your Teams wide open, not only the block?
Yes, it's wide open.
At the right-hand side at the top, just next to the thingy that looks like a heart monitor sign, there's a speech bubble with a question mark in it.
It doesn't show on my side. What I can pick up is it says meeting chat, and there's nothing there. And what I see is what you just recently wrote. Please check the Q&A.
Okay, two buttons left. There's the Q&A.
I don't see any other button. I don't have that on my side.
Okay, don't worry. I'll copy and paste it to the chat.
All right, then please do that, so that I can be able to quickly read out the answers that we have from our students today. Then we'll go to our next question. I hope that you are okay. I have Simpiwe. Let me see. I have Simpiwe here. Okay, I have 2 and 5, 4, 6. All right, let's check that out, Simpiwe. Okay, you just did the straight calculation. Okay. Okay, Simpiwe, I assume you said 7 multiplied by 78, right? And then you were able to get the 546. Correct answer, 546. Yes, 546. Okay, I just want to quickly check the second one. How many? Okay, you follow the steps, in as much as on our question and answer box, you are going to give me the straight answer. But when you are writing it down on your book, please always remember, write what you know, what you are given, and what is being asked. And also write the number sentence, then calculate, then give your closing sentence, right? But for now, it is okay. We can just give the answers. All right, the second one says a candy factory makes 6 pieces of candy each day. A candy factory makes 6 pieces of candy each day. How many pieces of candy will the factory make in 89 days? How many pieces of candy will the factory make in 89 days? Let me see if I have an answer. Okay. All right, let me see. I see Karabo. Let me see what Karabo wrote. Okay, the 470 Karabo, which is it for A, for B? Okay, please do me a favor when you're writing down your answers. Do state whether it's you answering A, you answering B, you answering C. Okay. Let me see. There's Liam also. Okay, okay. The prawn, yes, there are 546 prawn that we have. Thank you, Apile. That we were able to answer. Now we are doing our second one, where we have 6 candies that are being made in 89 days. 6 candies that are being made in 89 days. What will be the answer? Okay, I see here. There's one from Luandle. Thank you, Luandle. It is a correct answer, 534. All right, in 89 days, there will be 534 candies that are being made. All right, let me go to our last question. The last one says there are 5 rows of seats in the classroom. Each row has 75 seats. How many seats are there in all? How many seats are there in all, or rather total of seats? What is the total number of the seats in the classroom? There's 5 rows and there's 75 seats. How many seats are there in all? All right, yes, I see also Bontle answered. Yes, Bontle B, the answer is 534. Thank you so much for answering. But now we are looking at C, 5 rows in a classroom, and there's 75 seats. Anyone to answer C? We have 5 rows. We have 5 rows and 75 seats. How many seats are there in total? All right, I have Karabo answered 375. That is correct. There are 375 seats in the classroom. That should be your closing sentence after you have written everything down. Thank you so much. And Caleb also has 375. Thank you so much for your answers. I see there is also more people who have given the correct answer. Thank you so much. Now let us continue with our lesson. All right, now looking at the multiplication with factors, as I've said that you will have to learn different ways of multiplying. I said you will multiply in detail. There's detail record and there's also a column record. All right. Now multiplying with factors first in the breaking down and building up method of multiplication. Both the numbers are broken down into place value parts. All right, this is always important when you're doing your multiplication. Remember, last week we did, I think it was our first day, we did place value parts, right? Now we are reminded here again in the breaking down and building up method of multiplication, both numbers are broken down into place value parts to replace the product of the two numbers with a sum of simple products. Okay, we have an example here at the bottom. We have an example here. It says 687 multiplied by 42. All right, 687 multiplied by 42. Those are your two factors. Now that is replaced by 600 multiplied by 40. You put those in parentheses or rather in brackets. 600 multiplied by 40, then in brackets, plus 600 multiplied by 2. Also, you group them in brackets, plus 80 multiplied by 40. You put them in brackets, plus 80 multiplied by 2. You put those in brackets, plus, you open your brackets, 7 multiplied by 40, close brackets, plus, open brackets, 7 times 2, you close your brackets. Now here what we're doing is we are putting the value on each number, right? As we have said that 6 does not just represent 6, 8, just an 8 or 7, but there are place values that are represented there. 6 is 600, 8 is 80, and 7 is 7. So we break it down to multiply 40 and 2, okay? Now let us move on to our next slide because this step still continues. All right, we said 687 multiplied by 42 now equals to 687 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 7. Why now are we breaking? We are breaking now the second factor. We've already broken the first factor, which is 684, and now our breaking down is focused on the 42, which is our second factor. And remember, we said when we're doing the breaking down and building up, we will do it on the product side so that we are able to get our product. Okay, we replace the product with the factor that is being broken down and the whole number that is not broken down, which is in this case 687 multiplied by 42 being the factor that is broken down, 7 multiplied by 6. Sorry about that, because 42 equals to 6 multiplied by 7. Okay, we are breaking it down to 6 multiplied by 7 because we know that when we multiply 6 by 7, we get 42. Okay, and then we do our further breaking down. We say 687 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7. Okay, now we're looking at 6. We are looking at 6. Okay, can we break down 6? Do we have factors for 6? Yes, we do have factors for 6. It is 1 and 6. It is 2 and 3. All right, which factors are we going to use? We are going to use 2 and 3. Therefore, here we are breaking down 6. So we will say 687 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7, because 6 equals to 2 multiplied by 3. Okay, now we group our factors. We group our factors. We say open brackets 687 multiplied by 2. We close the brackets. And then we say multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7. Okay, we do know that we always work out the sum that is in brackets. So we say 687 multiplied by 2 equals 1374 multiplied by 3. Right? We close the brackets. We say multiplied by 7. Okay? We open our brackets. We say 687 multiplied by 2 equals to 1374, which we have already had on this side. All right, and now we continue. We say equals to, now we're working on 1374. Our answer here is 4122 multiplied by 7. And we also open brackets. We say 1374 multiplied by 3, 4000. I think I've repeated the step. Yes, I've repeated the step. 4,122. Now we break the 4,122 into place value parts. Okay, right? Now we have 4,000, open the brackets, 4,000 plus 100 plus 20 plus 2 multiplied by 7. Okay, and then we do our multiplication. 4 times, we do our multiplication there for 4,000 multiplied by 7, 100 multiplied by 7, 20 multiplied by 7, 2 multiplied by 7. We get our answer. 4 multiplied, if you do know, remember yesterday we spoke of mental calculation. If you do know that 4 multiplied by 7 equals to 28, and then how many zeros do we have? We have 3 zeros, and then we drop them down, or rather we just say 28,000 because then total number was 4,000. So we have 28,000. 100 multiplied by 7, the hundreds also should be a mental calculation, which is now 700. 20 multiplied by 7, 142 multiplied by 7, 14. And now we add that up. A total answer is 28,854. Okay, now I want us to do these, there's 3 sums that I want us to do. We should be able to, for 2 of these, we should, or rather for 1, we should be able to do a mental calculation. All right, use the detailed method to calculate the following. However, on the chat box or on our Q&A section, you can just give me the answer, but always remember when you are doing your calculation that you use your steps, okay? This is the detailed recording. You are recording in detail here because you are breaking down everything and then you are building it up, okay? Now let's look at the, sorry, before we do the exercise, I skipped a slide, sorry. Now this one is recording in column. Recording in column. Here we are using the same factors that we used on the detailed recording, okay? We have 687 multiplied by 42. So what happens on the recording column is that we write the total number 687. At the bottom, we write our multiplication sign and the factor, which is 42. You make your line under the multiplication sign and 42. You start by multiplying the first unit. 2 multiplied by 7 is 14. You write a plus sign because we must add this up. On the below 14, you write your plus sign. 2 multiplied by 80. Remember, this is not just 8, but it is 80. So you must always in your mind remember the place value parts, even though you are not going to write them in detail here. 2 multiplied by 80 equals 260. Therefore, we say plus 160. And then now we, okay, one more number. What do we have? 600 left. 2 multiplied by 600. Okay, you write your plus sign, which is 1,200. 600 multiplied by 2 or 2 multiplied by 600 gives you 1,200. All right, now we go to 40. We're not going to say 4 multiplied by 7 because we must always remember the place value part. 4 represents a 40. So we say 40 multiplied by 7. We have 280. We don't forget the plus sign because we must add all these numbers up to get our total number. Plus 280, and then we say 40 multiplied by 80. Plus sign, you write 3,200. And then you say 40 multiplied by 600. You get your plus sign, you get your 24,000. And then you add all this up. Okay, 4 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, you get a 4. And then You get 1 plus 6 plus 0 plus 8 plus 0 plus 0. That is 15. So you write the 5 and you keep the 1. Okay. Now you add the 1 onto this 1 here. Remember that is 100. So we're saying 1 that was kept from, we are carrying it over from the 15 that we got here. And then we say 1 plus 1, then that's a 2, a 4, 6, 8 plus 0. Then we write the 8 here. Okay. And then we look at the thousands. Okay. Here's 1. And then there's 1,000 plus 3,000 plus 4,000. Here we have 8,000. And then, okay, we only have 20,000. Then we drop the 20, or rather the 2 to make 28,854. Or you can do it this way. If you're looking at this red box here, this is how you can do it. You can write 687 multiplied by 42. Okay, you do it the same way, but not really in this format. Here you write on the side, you first write your 687 multiplied by 42, and then on the side you open your brackets, you write 687 multiplied by 40. And then there's your answer. It's 27,480. And then again you say 600 on the side, open your brackets, 687 multiplied by 2. You write your answer there and you remember your plus sign so that you can be able to add and get your product or your answer, plus 1,374, which is the answer of 687 multiplied by 2. And then you add these together. 0 plus 4 is 4. 8 plus 7 equals 15. You write the 5, you carry over the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 3 equals 8, and then you write your 8. Then you look at 7 plus 1, that's 8. You write it down, and then you have the 2. You just drop it down, you write the 2 there, and then you still have the same answer, which is 28,854. Okay, you have your answer, which is the same. All right, remember we had the same answer even though we were using the detailed recording. Your answer must always be the same. We have here 28,854, and also we have on these two methods, we have the same answer. So this basically shows that whatever method you use in calculation, whatever steps that you take, your answer must always be the same. Okay, it must give you the correct answer. Whatever steps you are taking must always give you the correct answer. All right, now let us look at our exercise. We only have 3 questions. There's only 3 questions that we're going to complete. Use the detailed method to calculate the following. So I am trusting and hoping that in your book that you're using for this online class, or in a paper that you have in front of you, you will write the detailed method. Okay. However, on our chat box, you can just write the answer. The first one will be 16 multiplied by 40. So always remember to first break down the left, or rather the first factor, and then break down the second factor. And when you are breaking down, remember we are writing it on our product side where you're supposed to you write your answer. That's where we're writing the replacement of the product by breaking down these 2 factors and writing the place value parts and adding it up and getting our answer. However, on our chat box or on our page where we write answers, you can just write your answer. You don't have to write all the steps. So the first one is 16 multiplied by 40. If I can get an answer, I'll check on the chat box. All right, I have Ash who has answered 16 multiplied by 40 is 640. Thank you so much. Okay, let me see, there's a question there. I don't know. Okay, it's today. You're saying, JD, 8 multiplied by 3. Oh, this is the homework. Is this the homework that I gave that you wrote here? Okay, we've already passed this one, JD, and thank you so much for doing the homework. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. All right. The answer to our first one, 16 multiplied by 40, is 640. Thank you so much, Ash. That's the correct answer. It is 640. And also JD wrote 640. I see there's more people who wrote the answers there. There's a question. Okay, I just want to quickly see. Okay, it's not a question, it's an answer also. Oh, it's Shakira. Okay, Shakira also wrote 640. Okay, thank you so much. The correct answer is 640. Let us go to our second one. Our second one says 114 multiplied by 7. 114 multiplied by 7. Remember, you are doing this in the detailed method. So in as much as we are writing down the answers, please do write it down. Please do write it down on your books or in the paper that you are currently using to do this calculation. So now let us get the answer for 114 multiplied by 7. Remember to do the breakdown. The second factor, which is 1 unit, which is just the 7, you don't have to break that down. Because it is a 7, we don't have other factors except for 1 multiplied by 7 to get a 7. So on the first one, which is 114, we do have factors there, so you can break that down and then give me the answer. Let me check if we have someone who has answered already. Yes, I see 789 from Bontle. Thank you so much, Bontle, for answering. It is a correct answer, hoping that we are following the steps, okay? We should be following the steps at all times, and we must always read the question, which method does it say we must use, all right? Because in this one, it is specific. We can't just use any method. We must use the detailed one. Thank you, Bontle. And also Shakira, thank you so much. And Caleb, you have given us the correct answer. Also Karabu, I see your answer there. Thank you. It is the correct answer, 798. Okay, now let us look at the third one. Okay, the third one, we should be able to break down both of our factors. You are able to break down 24 because 24 does have factors except for 1 and 24. And also 6 does have factors except for 1 and 6. So you can break it down. Remember, you always do the breakdown on your right-hand side where the product is supposed to be replaced by the sum so that you can continue writing it in steps and in detailed method and then get your answer. So if I can get the answer for 24 multiplied by 6, let me check if I have someone who has answered 24 multiplied by 6. We are busy now with the last one. This is our last question for the day. We have 24 multiplied by 6. Let me see if I have anyone who has written. Okay, I don't see anything as yet. I don't know whether Buntle is typing a question or are you typing the answer, but I'm just gonna wait a few seconds just so I see. Okay, there's new messages coming in. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have the correct answer. The first one from JD. Thank you so much, JD. You're the first one to answer on the chat box. The answer is 114. I see also Shakira is giving an answer. It's yes, and Buntle. Yes, it's 114. Thank you so much. I see there's more people who are answering there, and the answer is 114. And also Lita, thank you so much for giving us the correct answer. I see that you, at least you do understand. I hope that we're not only using the calculator so that we can impress the teacher with the correct answers, but I hope that we are following the steps so that we are able to do the calculations without the calculator, as long as we are following the instructions. Okay, I sincerely hope that we are following the steps and the instructions given in the question. All right, thank you so much. So this is what I want us to remember about what we did today. We are only left with 4 minutes, and thank you so much for your participation and your interaction. You guys have been great. I love you all. I want you to always remember that the teacher loves you so much. So today we learned about solving word problems and different ways of multiplying. Okay, so now with word problems, always remember to write down all the necessary information that is going to help you to solve your word problem. Okay, with word problems, we must always remember to write down before our calculation all the necessary information. Remember, we said we must write down what we are given, what we know, and what is being asked, or rather what we must find from the statement or from the word problem. Okay, now with multiplying, the answer or product must be the same even though the technique is different. Okay, I cannot stress this enough. Whichever method you are going to use or you are asked to use, it must give you the same answer. All right, to make sure that you have the right answer, you can always, if you're asked to use the recording one, the detail recording, you can always check with the column recording just to see if you will get the same answer. If the answer then remains the same, that it would mean that you have done the correct calculation. All right, thank you so much, grade 6, for being part of this lesson today. I do hope that it was fruitful and that you have learned and that you will always remember these methods whenever you're doing your multiplication. Please do come again tomorrow. We have our class at the same time from 8 till 8:45. We will look at mental calculations versus the calculator. Because sometimes with our mental calculation, we can always give the incorrect answer. Or rather, the calculator, sometimes if we use it incorrectly, it will give us the incorrect answer. So tomorrow we will look at that. However, I would also want tomorrow to look at the vertical recording. All right, today we looked at detail recording and also column recording. So tomorrow I want us to look at the vertical recording. All right, thank you so much for being part of this class. So if you do have any questions, you can always contact me on my email address, abongolo@gmail.com. I'll show it just now on the screen. It is abongolo@gmail.com. You can also follow us on our social media. My personal handle on Instagram is @bit_ah. And then you can also follow us, Africa Teen Geeks, and also Lockdown is School. Thank you so much. Do enjoy the rest of your day. I hope we continue to practice this math. Thank you so much and keep safe. Always remember to stay at home so that you can be safe. Thank you so much. Do enjoy the rest of your day. That's it from my side. Bye.